Yeah, Mahesh, Ani.
Namaste, Jaykumarji. First of all, how is your health?
Yeah, it's I'm on antibiotics, so it's getting better.
Oh, for
Getting
viral fever, they give you antibiotics? Okay. All right. So my question is, early on in the class, you said avidya is not absence of knowledge, and you said it is, and then I missed that.
Yeah, it is an entity that is in opposition to knowledge, I said. Opposed to knowledge. Not absence of.
Okay.
But it's very much an entity, a positive entity.
Okay. And you said also avayava is sangha, correct?
Avayava.
No, avayava means anga. You said
Anga,
anga.
okay.
Okay, yeah, anga means avayava. Anga is a part.
No, because the reason I said was that because I think in other places they have seen sangha is part and avayava is also part. So that's why I thought anga is
Avayava is part. Correct. Consistent with that. Yeah.
So it is anga, not anga. I mean, not sangha. Okay.
Correct. Anga is equal to avayava. Sangha is savayava.
Okay. Another thing is like when we say in this this shloka number, whatever we are learning, 109 or 111, depending upon the books we learn today. So in that, when we say existent and non-existent, I know we didn't translate it as existent and non-existent. We translated as real and non-existent. But because it says, I mean, if you read it exactly, it says existent and non-existent. Maybe I'm thinking non-existence, existent mean in the sense that it doesn't have an independent existence.
Good.
Not
So
physical non-existent.
Yeah, so good observation on these things. See, yeah, existent and non-existent, regardless of whether you translate Sat as existent or real, both are going to have limitations because of our idea of reality and existence. Our idea of reality is temporary reality. Our idea of existence is temporary existence. Beyond temporary existence, we don't know what is there. Therefore, exist, if you say, we have to put it in quotes.
Yeah.
Or put it in quotes. And so independently existing is better. Neither independently existing nor non-existent.
Yeah.
So, that is better. It is neither satyam. It is neither satyam. It is neither satyam nor tucham. Look at that. Look at that. It is neither satyam nor tucham. Tucham means absence, non-existent, you know. If it is neither satyam nor tucham, then it has to be in between. And that in between is what?
Mithya.
Mithya. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I know we went with this dream example. It is same with the pot example also. Because since we know Satyam and Mithya, I mean, we have been talking for a few years now. So from that perspective, any object you see is mithya.
Correct. And so, correct, you're right. And that mithyatvam comes from Maya. Karyanumeya. I appreciated the mithyatvam of the pot, and therefore Maya is no different.
Right.
Because Karyanumeya.
Because if when you say pot, because pot is existent, because I can feel it, touch it, smell it, or whatever, or I can use it, but it doesn't have an existence on its own without clay. So from that perspective, so I don't know. I mean, I thought I understand that better than dream. So
correct. No, that's fine. It's exactly the same.
Yes.
The same thing.
And the other one I had is when we say avidya, I mean, one thing is, we keep, I don't know, in the area said avidya is not absence of knowledge, but it's not any knowledge, right? It is a knowledge of self. We are not talking about any other knowledge.
In our context?
In our context, our study, in our context, we are not talking about any other worldly knowledge.
Yeah, but worldly knowledge, avidya also. Worldly knowledge.
Yeah, but because then they'll say, oh, we are all avidya means what? I mean, somebody would have done a PhD and say, oh, you're all avidya. Somebody may object.
No, what we're saying is avidya is not a non-existent entity. It is not absence of knowledge alone. It is something that stops me from knowing what I should know.
But still, it refers to Atma.
You can put it. What happens? Suppose you apply it to Anatma. Is there a problem with that?
Yeah, I mean, because it says, there could be, like an opposed to knowledge means, unlike, Maya makes you, that is what is making you opposed to that knowledge, gaining that, right? And, our senses are outward, all those things, what all we have discussed during Kadopanishad or Bhagavad Gita or any other, other text. So this, when you say entity that is opposed to knowledge, I don't know, Anatma is opposed to knowledge. I mean, if I don't know something I don't know as a person because I have not studied that or I have not, but whereas we are referring to everybody. I don't know, I'm just asking
I'm asking a simple question. When I say when I say I don't know Chinese, okay, and I don't know Chinese, I say that Chinese is anatma, okay, Chinese language is anatma. So I say I don't know Chinese. Is that ignorance of Chinese? How do you categorize?
It is a knowledge. I mean, it is something which I don't know because I have not learned, as opposed to, I mean, it is not something opposing me from knowing Chinese. Is there anything opposing me to know Chinese?
There is a cloud. There is a cloud that prevents me from knowing Chinese. That's what we say. Nobody is stopping you. That we are not talking about what stops you from knowing Chinese. That is different. Thank God we are free enough to just go to YouTube and just learn whatever. That's not what we're talking about. That which makes you not know Chinese is a positive entity. That is Ajnanam. Chinese Ajnanam, it is called.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah. So it could be categorized as, okay, I have no need to know it. So I didn't know it. I know it exists. I know it is there. I know I can learn. I know there are enough resources available to learn. But I have not learned because there was no need. just like, for example, I'll give you my personal example. You live in France, you eventually, or Mexico, for example, you will learn French or Spanish. As opposed to if you live in Netherlands, you may not learn Dutch at all because people speak English. So that's what I'm saying. There's no need. There was no drive.
So here, I think we are mixing up two different things.
Okay, possible.
You are talking about the opportunity to learn, etc. The forces that are required to learn, the forces that prevented you from learning, those are the things you're talking. I'm not talking about that. You're talking about circumstances. No, I'm talking about that which makes me say I don't know Chinese. What makes me say I don't know Chinese?
Because I don't know.
Because I don't know Chinese. Okay, good. Because I don't know Chinese. All right. Why I don't know Chinese? Because we are not going beyond. We are just saying there is a Chinese ajnanam. There is Chinese ajnanam. Okay, which like the cloud covers the sun, there is Chinese ajnanam covers Chinese jnanam, which is also there in the same Atma. Chinese jnanam is not separately coming from somewhere into the head. It is there. The unmanifest Chinese ajnanam, Chinese jnanam is there, which becomes manifest when you get exposed to certain things. Now let's see if this explanation is better. Okay, and because of which the Chinese ajnanam goes away. Ajnana timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya. Like that, cataract is being removed. Like that we say. We will not accept the Chinese knowledge just came out of nowhere. Out of nowhere means out of all the exposure it came. That's all we're saying. Correct? You understood what I said?
Kind of. I need to dwell on it. So,
yeah, dwell on this a little bit.
I'm not convinced, but I will think of
it. Switch your perspective a little bit and then...
Guruji, but then with respect to all aparavidya, is it not a process? Unlike paravidya, ajnanam is to overcome ajnanam, there is a process there, right?
Yes, process is there. Of course. Of course.
I mean, that process is there for para also.
It is there for both. It is there for both.
Yeah, process is there. My point, Jagmarji, was this. Not, I mean, say, since we started on Chinese, and say continuing on that, Chinese knowledge is not, is useful. Suppose I'm going to live there, or I'm going to deal with them, or something. It helps me, even though may not be absolutely required. But as we have studied in all these scriptures, not knowing self or knowing self is a benefit of samsara bandhat vimichyate, or we will from that bondage we liberate. So there is some phalam for everybody, no matter where you are, which we are not aware till we learn. Whereas Chinese is very apparent. Or I'm just giving example. I couldn't say chemistry, I can say physics, any of them, but it's the same biology or anything. I mean, that's all I'm not, and I think we have dwelt enough. Let me think about it.
Yeah, do that.
But Jaykumarji,
I don't want to take
we can say
time.
Not everybody is interested in Paravidya, no? There are 8 billion people, 7.9 billion of them are not interested. There are 8 billion people. Maybe I'm not interested in Chinese because I hate what China does to India. That's my Maya.
So what we are talking has nothing to do with interest.
Correct.
Chinese jnanam, Chinese ajnanam, we are not talking about circumstances, interest, opportunities.
Correct.
Yes. We are just talking about something called Chinese jnanam is there, and then there is something called Chinese ajnanam. And I am saying that Chinese Ajnanam is not absence of Chinese Jnanam. Chinese Ajnanam is an entity which is opposing Chinese Jnanam.
Correct.
That is all I'm saying.
Correct. Agreed.
Thank you, Mahesh. Thank you. Go ahead, Anirudh.
Thank you, Jay.
So just on this one, sorry, Mahesh, you were saying something?
No, I just said thank you. That's
okay. So Guruji, Abhinam is very, I mean, it's a little fuzzy here. So I know that I see composites, I see all the components of Maya. So it is instinctively Bhinnam. So Abhinam to what? I mean, why would anybody even have that? Why would one come to an Abhinnatvam for Maya?
Yeah, Bhinnam, as you see, Bhinnam compared to what?
Everything is Bhinnam, yes.
So everything is Bhinnam, all right. But the question is not whether everything is Bhinnam or not. Everything is Bhinnam means each is different from the other. The book is different from water. That is why when I'm thirsty, I go for the water. When I'm thirsty for knowledge, I go for the book.
Correct.
Okay. Two different things which serve two different purposes. That is one type of Bhinnam. One type of Bhinnam, that is. So, but here the type of Bhinnam we are talking about is not that type of Bhinnam. We're talking about is Maya separate from Brahman.
Okay, fine. So it's always with respect to Brahman that we are saying Asanga or yes, okay, fine.
Like, is pot separate from clay?
Okay.
Or is it non-separate from clay?
Okay. Yeah.
We're not saying is pot different from book. No, pot is different from book. That is
Definitely.
separate.
Yes.
We're talking about between Mithya and Satyam.
Yes.
Is there what kind of separateness is there?
Right. Yeah, in the translation we mentioned from Brahman but we didn't say anything, but I guess it should be understood that it is with respect to Brahman. Yeah, fine. Thank you.
I should have made it more explicit there. And when I gave the dream example, I should have said just like dream example and me. Is it separate from me? Like that we were talking.
Correct. Yes. I got it. Yeah. Just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Thank you. Hema, then Dheeraj and Ram.
Thank you, Guruji. This Niruktam, is it something like Nirvachaniya? That usage is something like that? Niruktam? Okay. And one more thing you said, I am sick, I am hungry. You said at the time it is the Sukshma Sariram which is being referred to. Right?
Referred to at what time again? What is the question?
No. When you said, I am sick, I am hungry, that means that is the Sukshma Sati. So, and you also said, I do not know. That refers to the Karana Sariram, causal. So, when I say I am tall, I am fat, that refers to the Stula Sarira.
Correct. Tall and fat are attributes of the physical body.
So the attributes of the physical form. Okay.
Physical body. Yeah.
Okay. And one more. Of course.
In fact, we can change. Yeah. In fact, I can change what I said. I am thirsty. I am hungry. It is referring to the prana. It is referring to the physiological system. Maybe you can even say gastrointestinal system. Okay, it is prana, sukshma shariram. But when I say I am sick, is it correct to say it applies only to sukshma shariram? Can the stula shariram not be sick?
Yeah, that's why.
Can be sick. Yeah, you can see the
mind
wound,
also can be sick.
Mind
also can.
Correct. So there is a wound right there on the body. Okay, wound is there. So it's a very bad wound, and so I am sick. So it applies. I will take back what I said. I said sukshma shariram.
Okay,
apply to stula shariram.
So in fact, Maheshji was talking about avidya is not absence of knowledge. So I was reminded of that World Health Organization's saying that health is not absence of diseases. Their saying is, health is not just absence of disease. It refers to the well-being in so many domains of the thing. It is not just absence of diseases. So it was just, I was reminded of that statement. And one more thing, Manmata is called Ananga. Anangaha.
Manmatha.
He doesn't have a body.
Ananga.
He's called Ananga. Yeah. So here that Ananga, it came, about Maya. So I remembered Manmata is called Ananga.
See,
thank you, Guruji.
Let's go back. See, one that does not have a body is Ashariri. Okay. But Ananga, can you go back and look into why Manmatha is called Ananga? I would like to know.
That is what I was going to ask, because you said
because,
Ananga.
No, the Ananga is not the one who does not have a body. Ananga is that which does not have parts, is called Ananga.
Parts of the body.
He
is not called Ashariri. Why is it called Ananga? I also had that. When you spoke about that Shariram and the Anga, I was thinking why Manmada is not called Ashariri, but he is called Ananga.
Yeah, if you can activate your contacts and find that out, I'd be interested. Thank you, Hemaji.
Thank you.
Dheeraj, then Ram.
Namaste, Guruji. Dhanyavad. So actually, I had so it was a very nice class. I joined today after quite long, and it was great.
I was wondering who you were.
Thank you. So actually, I had some question other than today's class also. So I was trying to read this Adhyatma Ramayana. And basically it has concepts of Vedanta, maybe Advaita, and maybe some people say it is Vishishta Advaita based, but and it explains the entire Ramayana, and it's actually shorter than the full Ramayana, so I didn't have the time to read that. So this one I thought, let me start with this. So actually in the Pratham Sarga, which is Bal Hridayam, here actually Parvati ji asks Mahadev ji, and today's Shivratri, so that's also relevant. So I thought that so she asked him that who is this Sri Rama? Why did he have knowledge of the self or not? And then first Shivji explains that, okay, I'll tell you the story, and then then he tells the story of Sri Rama, who is telling Hanuman that he says that this Chaitanyam actually is of three types. So one is the Paramarthika Chaitanyam, like Brahman, and then there is Buddhi Avichinna Chaitanyam, which is restricted by the Buddhi, and then there is a Pratibimba Chaitanyam. So my question was that, are Pratibimba and Avichinna, are they the same, or is there some difference? Because first he Sri Ram gives the example of Akasha. So he says there is a Mahakasha, and then there is a Ghatakasha, which is limited by the pot, and then there is a Pratibimba Akasha, like the reflection of water, and like the reflection of the space in the water which is inside the pot. So then he says that out of these etayoho avichinna and pratibim. So these two are non-existent, not non-existent. Basically, these two are Maya, and Paramarthik is the real one. So is there some distinction between Pratibimba and Avichinna, or are these just two different ways of explaining the same idea of Jiva?
Yeah, so are they different? So yeah, they are different. That's why you have two words, Pratibimba and Avichinna. That's why there are two different examples are given. So that in that way they are different. Okay. Okay. So what is Avichinna for others who are listening? Avichinna means what? Space is all pervasive. But then there is pot. Pot seems to have a unique space. It seems to circumscribe some amount of space, right? Some volume is there. And so that space belongs to the pot. And pot says, this is pot space. This is my space. I paid for it. I'm paying rent or I purchased the space. Okay, great. But regardless of what the pot says, space is space. Nobody is going to split space. I can carve my land property whichever way I want. But space is not carvable. So that is that parichinna, avachinnavada. Okay, avachinna is there. Really, is it? Can you carve out space? You can't carve out space like that. Brahman cannot be carved out like that. That discussion goes. So avachinnavada, etc. They say. Okay, so Brahman is like space, which appears carved out but is not carved, cannot be carved. All right. Then the other one is Pratibimba Vadaha. Pratibimba. So there, Brahman is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Or Satchit Anandaha. Chaitanyam. So Chaitanyam is a consciousness that only a human mind can appreciate. Because I know that no object in this universe is conscious. Means the objects I'm looking at I'm looking at so many objects and nothing is conscious. They are not observing me. I am observing them. Every object in this room. And so there is something unique about me. And then what is unique about me? That ability to be aware of or be conscious of anything else. Okay, that's how I appreciate consciousness. But then Brahman is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Whole world is Brahman also. The tree I'm looking at also is Brahman. The wall is also Brahman. And that also is consciousness. Satyam Jnanam is consciousness. And so that is also consciousness. This is also consciousness. Then why that wall is not able to say hi to me? Be conscious of me? Because consciousness is there everywhere. Then if you ask like that, then the answer is the pratibimba is there. No, consciousness, correct. It is that Brahma, it is that Atma that endows me with the ability to be aware of things. How does it endow me? By having an entity called mind, which they say reflects the consciousness. They use the word reflect, pratibimba. That consciousness reflects in the mind like that. They use that word, reflects. And what do you mean by consciousness reflects? It is like the sun is reflecting on the water. And sun is reflecting on the water. The water is, you look at the water there, it looks like the sun has fallen down to the water. It is so bright and brilliant. It's as good as the sun on top. That is what has happened. That consciousness has manifested in the mind. Now I can say, I am conscious of everything. I am a conscious being. I can make all these statements. That is called Pratibimbavat. Because the speaker is, now I am talking about the mind and this and that. So now everything is Vyavaharika Satyam. Mind is Vyavaharika Satyam. I am talking is Vyavaharika Satyam. This Jiva body is Vyavaharika Satyam. And so all transactions happen and it's all transactional world, empirical world we are talking about. And so I am able to say in that empirical world, I am conscious. Pratibhimbavada says it is that consciousness that reflects in the mind that makes me do all these things. Pratibhimbavada. Is there any, okay, that's how these two are different. Are they same? Okay, they are two different ways of expressing finally the same thing. The Akasha Parichinnatvam, that is not to be used for explaining consciousness. The spaces cannot be divided. Okay, good, let it be so. That is Satyam. Satyam, which is all pervasive, cannot be divided. That is good. Leave that example there. When you want to talk about consciousness, come to this example.
Okay. Okay. Dhanyawad, Guruji.
Good.
And
Welcome back.
hope you
Dheeraj.
recover soon. Wish good health for you.
Thank you. And what happened to you? You said you couldn't get up in the morning, therefore you were not attending classes. Too early, no? 6:15.
No, actually, so yeah, like actually, I was also like my brother has moved to Bangalore, and so we were shifting there, like and so there was some like bit of a mess there, right? Because we were shifting some stuff from there, like from here to there, and then some other office work also. There was some other thing which was happening, so so multiple
So,
things were there. I couldn't. I wasn't
sure.
able.
Did you work from home from Bangalore also, or what?
Actually, my actual office is supposed to be in Bangalore. I was so in our company. I don't know if it's taking away time from others. If I, but yeah, like so my actual team, like the with whom I work with, my manager and other teammates, they were in Bangalore only. So I worked from office also for some time, and
Okay. Thank you, Dheeraj. Thank you.
Namaste,
Jaykumarji,
Dhanyavad.
Ramji, just for a second, if you.
Sure.
Hello, thank you. The connected question, that's why I just picking up. So the third
Please.
one is Abhasavada, which is appearance theory. So Shankaracharya accepted all the three, right? I mean, they're all one and the same in that sense. You said. Just wanted to confirm.
Correct. Abhasavada. Abhasavada means what? So, abhasa. So exactly like Maya. Abhasa. Projection. Everything is a projection, as it were. Everything is not exactly what you think it is. So that's fine. That also we appreciate. So you can't say one is right or not. It's a different way of explaining different aspects of the same Siddhanta. Correct. Thank you, Prasad.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Ramji, go ahead.
Thank you, Guruji. And I think you probably addressed my question a little bit when you were responding to Dheerajji, but I'll ask the question anyway. It's where I'm struggling is on the ontology part of this whole conversation, right? So if you look at Maya, Maya is said to basically veil the truth of Brahman and cause the illusion, right? But then if Brahman is non-dual, omnipresent, and pure consciousness, then where does the veiling happen? And who's the veiler and who's the veiled? Right? Because the problem is if Brahman exists, then there's no room for something like Maya to arise and operate, which basically will lead to a contradiction. Contradiction number one is either Brahman is not pure knowledge, or contradiction number two is that Maya has independent existence, which means it will defeat non-dualism. So that is where I was getting stuck at, Guruji.
Yeah, Brahman basically is. And if you say, where is the question of Maya? Then you're asking the question, how did creation come about?
Right.
Where is the question
First
of
cause.
creation? Brahman, you can't say Brahman wanted to have fun and wanted to create and see what happens. Like that, you can't say, because Brahman is Nirgunam and it is by potential, but there is no desire for all these things. Even desire to have fun can't be there. Okay. And so your question is saying, what explains creation?
Right.
I think, can we say that? What explains creation?
Yeah, it's the same question. And a sub part of that is, how did Maya begin? Which is basically a sub part.
Right. What started this creation?
Yeah.
So what Vedanta's answer is like this. Creation did not start. You can't go and look for an origin of creation. If you look, you will keep on looking. You'll keep on looking. That's what it says.
In infinite regress.
Yeah. Why is it like that then? Why you can't say at a particular point it started? At a particular point, the word began, if you say, World means, let's talk about jivas. Jivas. Birth of a jiva is there due to karma.
Karma.
We will invoke karma immediately.
Yeah.
Due to karma. Something has to manifest. Science also, you can use science also and say something had to manifest. And that's why that manifestation is the creation. Okay, what forced this unmanifest to manifest? We will say karma. It is whatever potential, that potential. Karma is a potential, And so that potential is there, and so potential energy had to get converted to kinetic energy and other energies. That is exactly what it is. Okay, then what created that potential energy? For this to happen, a trigger at this point. Then you have to push your origin a little further and say, oh, wait, what happened is, like that you have to say, and you have to push it back further. And therefore, you cannot have an origin for creation. And therefore, you can't have an origin for Maya. Jiva has no origin at all. You can never say, when was I born? This Jiva, when was it first born? You can't say. It was always there. Why? Because the Jiva is born because of karma, and the previous karma was there because of its previous karma. And you can never say there was a time when there was no karma. You can't say, because if that was the case, new karma can never come. And to add another point, karma is gone when Atma Jnanam takes place. And so if you say there was a time when there was no karma, then you're saying there was a time when there was no ignorance, only knowledge was there. And knowledge was there, it cannot be succeeded by ignorance. And therefore
Makes
creation
sense.
cannot happen at all.
Guruji, I was like, where I was getting stuck at is I was fast forwarding it the other side, right? You were going towards the left. I was trying to go to the right and saying, if I take a thought experiment and let's say if 7.5 billion people all lived the life and they all attained moksha, everybody, right? Hypothetically, avidya was completely gone and everybody attained moksha, then there will be no universe according to the definition. There will be, because there is no karma. The net balance is gone, right? That is where my head was getting stuck at.
Correct. Correct. And we have to include all the jivas, not just human beings.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the number of jivas is
in trillions.
On Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many planets are there like this where jivas are surviving? We don't know. And so, uncountable number of jivas are there. And so, even if 9 billion people get moksha at the same time, the number of jivas that are there is still infinite. And so, the case that you're talking about is hypothetical.
Yes, absolutely.
It's hypothetical.
It's a thought experiment, yeah.
And yeah, it's thoughts you can do the thought experiment, but it's hypothetical.
Yeah.
So,
because I view this like a system-based approach, Guruji. On one side, you have inbound, which is coming because of karma. Then you have everybody sitting here and cycling through the karma and doing the prabhada karma, sanchita karma, agama karma. And then some particular subset of that reaching moksha and coming out, right? So it's a system approach. And that's where I was trying to say, okay, what if I then ran the simulation all the way to the end and everything the right actually kind of fulfilled? What happens then, right? So that's, and my brain's not able to comprehend it. So that's why I got stuck.
Correct. We don't know the system well enough. Our idea of the system is limited maximum to Earth. Maximum, you can say. All the sciences are focused on what's happening here, right? Leaving aside astronomy and all that. And so our idea of jiva is, as they say, somewhere long ago I read this statement. the surest sign of intelligent life out there is that they have not
Not
contacted
yet
us.
found us. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Because they are minding their own business, and so they won't find us. So
Thank you,
So
Guruji. That helps.
I doubt if you can, I mean, you can do a simulation, and that's the right thing to do, but it'll be a simulation with a lot of incomplete data, unavailable
Yeah.
data. Yeah,
And a lot of assumptions. Yeah.
a lot of assumptions. Yeah.
Makes sense. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
I think that's why science also try to copy by saying cyclic. That way they can avoid God. But even in science, the causality is possible only after Big Bang, right? So they cannot explain the previous what singularity, how it. So that's why, like Guruji says, agatita gatana patiyasi maya. So that is Vedanta.
Yeah, because for causality, Prasadji, you need time, and time only came after the Big Bang. It was not there before the Big Bang. That's the whole problem, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ram.
Thank you.
Sita, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Namo Namah Guruji, can you hear me?
Yes.
So I used to have the same question, like what if every entity or whatever it is got moksham, and then what happens? So I don't know, it was like when we started studying, I have the same question, like what will happen? So what will happen to all these things? And one more question, we say like the pot is pervaded by clay, right? Like the pot is never separate from clay. And like recently, like somebody was asking the question, right? The Pratibimba Chaitanyam and all that. So where does that come here? Like I'm like confused now. The reflected consciousness. So
It
or
need
am I
not
mixing
come.
something?
No, it need not come everywhere. No, it need not come everywhere. Just because there is Pratibambavada and Avachedavada, it did not come everywhere. For understanding pot as mithya, you don't have to bring any of these two.
Okay.
You understood pot as mithya. Pot is pervaded by clay. There's no part of the pot that is not clay, and therefore pot is a superimposed entity. No Avachedavada, no Pratibimbavada.
Okay. So, but why are we talking about that then?
When we talk about all pervasiveness of Atma, of Brahma, how come there are so many things and still Brahma is one, limitless? If you say there's so many things, don't really do anything to Brahma. Brahman doesn't become so many things because there is really no so many things. And like pot cannot cut through space and somehow make it break up Akasha into pieces. It's not possible. Like that, there is we don't bring it at all. Really, Sita. That's why this Avachedavada and all. I never mention it. Pratibimbavada, I don't mention it. Because already we are understanding. And so they don't, some people use that phrase. They use the phrase like that. But it's not necessary to
Use
bring
the
that,
terms.
invoke those terms now.
Okay. And I have one more question. I don't know if the question itself is right or wrong. So when we say, like I say, my body, my stula shariram, I say, right? Like I don't know who is saying, maybe my ahankaram, I don't know. And I say my sukshma shariram, like my mind and all. Can I say my karana shariram, or there is no such thing? I don't know.
Yeah, see, you can say my only when you know something. When you know what it is that you're pointing to and saying my. Okay, you can say any object that you see. That is my book and my computer. Then you come to the body, you say my body. My body. Okay, because I can see the body. For a person who doesn't even appreciate Sukshma Shariram as different from Stula Shariram, he can't say my Sukshma Shariram also.
Yeah.
Person who is just gross and you talk about sense organs and all, you say, wow, sense organs? We have 5 sense organs, is that it? Like that, if somebody says, then what? That person needs to know a lot more, correct? And for that person, body is body. That's it. Body, mind, everything is one big block. And so, you can say, my Karana Shariram.
Because we say like it goes into the seed form and all, right? So I don't know, like it's not a avyaktam and then vyaktam.
Just like we say, my karma. My karma. It is my karma. My karma. What to do with my karma? Like that we say, my karma. Then how did you are able to see karma? No. Karyanumeya. It is because things are happening. Things are happening. There must be some reason for why things are happening. I don't know why this is happening to me. And therefore it is my karma. Like that. Karma is not seen, but it is still my karma. Like that. My ignorance. My ignorance is Karana Sharira. You can say that.
Okay. Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah. Thank you. Ramuji, Prasadji.
Just an observation. Talking now for Big Bang and other things. Scientists say scientists can only explain after Big Bang, not before Big Bang. And time and space is born after Big Bang. So time is a second experience. That is why the measurement of time is also termed as second.
Okay.
That's just an observation, which one Swamiji said.
Second experience, is it?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
Second experience. Time is a second experience. Man is not there. You are not there in the first experience.
So what is first experience again?
That is unexplained.
The Big Bang.
Advaitam. Big Bang came only after, sorry, time and space came only after Big Bang.
Okay, got it.
So time is measured by seconds in English. So it is a second experience.
Right. Just to add to what Ramuji said, Guruji, so if you look at the Abrahamistic faiths, like I think you made this point earlier, in their books, whether it's the Bible, the Quran, or whether it's the the Jewish Bible, they use the word creation. They don't use the word manifestation. Right? For them, it's always a point. For us, it's manifestation because of the cyclical nature. It's very different in terms of how the worldviews are, in terms of ontology and cosmology.
Yeah, massive difference. Massive difference. Yeah. Prasadji.
Yeah, a quick comment on what Ramuji said. See, today, the science also, they have different schools of thought. So the people, some scientists, they come up with the singularity and they try to put it to cyclic effect and all that. Similarly, for example, when they talk about the consciousness itself, I am aghast to hear like consciousness is today little and it becomes later big. So the scientist talks about, I was hearing all these different so there are different schools of thought so singularity was described by only certain group of people, not so as if there was existing something. Just a comment. Going back on the Sita's question. So when we talked, when you described it, Jaykumarji, earlier, it is so the third one which I mentioned earlier, that appearance, Vartika schools thing. So
Abhasavada.
Avasvada. So basically, when we talk about immanence in English, immanence and transcendence, so the abhasa is the part of it where we say that the pot from the from the clay and all that. So just yeah. So we don't say that the vadas and all that, but we use the concept as appearance. Yeah. That's what I say.
Good point. Yeah. We don't just say vada. We just say abhasa. We use those words, avachinnan, vachedaha, and pratibimbaha, reflection. We use those words.
Yeah.
We don't add vada to it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good point. Thank you. We'll pause with that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanashaya Nathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.